differentiate f of x equals x cubed minus 1 all raised to the 100th power. Now, without the chain rule, this would be incredibly difficult to do because we wouldn't be able to just leave it as x cubed minus 1 all to the 100th power. We would have to multiply this out 100 times to write it as a polynomial, and then we would have to differentiate each of those terms. It would be a hot mess. But with the chain rule, we can do this a lot more simply. Here, this is a composition of functions where the inner function is x cubed minus 1, and the outer function is u to the 100th power. So if we want to differentiate this, we can use the chain rule. The chain rule says that we take the derivative of the outer function. Well, the outer function is u to the 100th power. The derivative of that is 100 times u to the 99th. But remember here, u is x cubed minus 1. We differentiate the outer function with respect to the inner function. And then we multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. The derivative of x cubed minus 1 is 3x squared. And we can clean this up just a little bit because we can multiply 100 times 3, and that gives us 300. And then I'm going to bring that x squared to the left side of the parentheses. I think that looks just a little nicer. And then we've got that x cubed minus 1 to the 99th power. And this is the derivative. Now, I know I didn't show all of my substitution steps and whatnot, but I just want to remind you that when we have the derivative of a composition of functions, it was the derivative of the outer function evaluated at the inner function times the derivative of the inner function. And that's exactly what we did here. The outer function was something to the 100th power. So the derivative of that is 100 times that something to the 99th. We took the derivative of the outside, but we kept the inner function in it, right? We're taking the derivative with respect to that inner function, and then we're multiplying by the derivative of the inner function, which in this case, the derivative of x cubed minus 1 is 3x squared. You could go through the whole process of letting u be x cubed minus 1 and yada, 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 but I really want to get to the point where we're able to just go through, differentiate the outer function with respect to the inner function, and then multiply by the derivative of the inner function. That's where we want to get, and so I'm going to try and get us there as fast as we can with a lot of practice.